How do they go about getting? So if they have to describe the information, how do they go about doing that without, raising a red flag on themselves? Let's say charges haven't been pressed. Oh, it's about that gun I bought or the gun I sold. You know what I mean? Like, how exactly do they go about skirting the red tape in the invisible bar?
That's their bar. That's on them to figure it out. Why am I here to facilitate criminals trying to
Because
weasel their way
inherently
around charges?
innocent until proven guilty. It's the
Okay, you're
basis
right,
of your
but there's
job as
no
a
guilt
justice.
that's being there's no guilt that's being proven by someone requesting incidents to potential incidents surrounding them. The police already know about this, no? So why would it matter if they requested information about it?
Well, it seems like a lot of times the police don't have all the knowledge, especially given my case where High Command had no idea even what was going on with the case against me, but all the BCSO and Marshals seem to be in the know.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
I mean, that doesn't seem
But
like my
it's an
problem.
LSPD investigation, so how am I supposed to go to the LSPD and lobby for reports that they don't even know exist when other parties
They do know they
are.
exist because they're on the docket against you.
Yeah, but there's stuff that I'm betting that there's stuff that isn't on the docket against me.
Okay, well, here's what you do. Go to your case, have your lawyer request a motion to compel any potential evidence or reports that are related to this incident, and there will be, if that's granted, they're legally required to do so. I don't know why this is so
Didn't they do
difficult.
that?
I'm
I think
pretty
they
sure
did
they
that.
did.
And did they provide any information in response?
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think.
I remember the response.
Wait, hold on. I don't
Fred,
see.
I believe you started this conversation by saying over the last 4 months, and you used the case as an example, but your intent is grander than just the case. Is that
Yeah, I
accurate?
mean, I need all the records. Yeah.
We kind of went through like a rabbit hole away from your original point.
Okay, so ultimately, here's the thing. These mass record requests are very difficult to actually logistically complete, which means that if you want one, there must be a damn good reason for it, and you're going to have to pay for it. They're not simple to do. If your request is, I want everything that has my name attached to it from now into all eternity, then that means that the law enforcement officers are, the MDT doesn't facilitate a search like that. They're going to have to manually search through every single report. Every single one, all 15,000 of them. They're going to have to go through every single one of them and see if your name is listed in it. It's a logistically impossible request to deliver on.
I don't think it is, though. I mean, if you tag the persons involved like you're supposed to, I mean, even I did that. I mean,
Okay, but that's not what's being requested. If you requested every report that has me listed as a witness or an involved person, that could be fulfilled probably in 10 minutes. But that's not what's being requested here.
You're saying that because that the search does not search for the body of the report, the request becomes impossible.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And then what about the subset that does not include where you're talking about my FOIA request?
Well, yours is not the only one that was received like that.
So why in those cases would there not be a, I don't know, like a request delivered where it's like, here's everything except for where your name may not be tagged but may be in the body due to, like, I don't know, back end limitations or whatever?
Because the reason this legislation changed, interestingly enough, is actually an exact result of the Department of Justice's uncontested authority on legal and judicial matters. The appeal was sent to a judge who determines that the request was valid, but changes should be made to curtail this abuse. And he then kicked it to us justices, who then made the changes. It's actually the system working exactly as it's intended to.
so it's intended to be terrible.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
I'm saying that this came as a result of judicial discretion.
Why do you refer to it as abuse?
Because showing up and just requesting every single record with your name on it is putting way too high of a logistical burden on the random officer that is unfortunate enough to receive that request.
But there's an implication of intent.
Yes, that's correct.
And I think the people have the right to this information as has been enshrined in the Constitution.
Of course.
Someone's rights are not is not an abuse.
I would disagree with that.
Huh?
It's possible to exercise your rights in a way that abuses others, which is why we have to put in guidelines and restrictions around these.
Then they can just not do the fucking job as far as
Listen,
I'm looking
I
at it.
think, in my opinion, you two are government officials, and so am I. I think that this meeting should be FOIAble. I think your phones should be FOIAble. I think every
Agreed.
discussion that you have with your government officials should be FOIAble. I think that you two should be accountable. All of us should be accountable to write down quite literally every single governmental interaction that we ever have forever, for now and all time. Does that sound reasonable to you?
In fact, we're actually writing up something along those lines.
Okay. Do you understand how logistically impossible that's going to be deliver upon that, Nina?
Well, we can start with phones. Every official government SIM should be registered to somebody and be FOIAble on request and published maybe on a 30-day basis. I'm okay with meetings being recorded and being published to a document that anyone can listen to.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Quite interesting. All official conversations. If there's one like in a back room somewhere, it's whatever. But
Well,
official
I
ones
mean,
like
I don't
this,
think that that's for you to determine if that's official or not. I think if you're having any conversation that's related to your governmental duties, that's official.
Yeah, but that doesn't even happen in like the United States.
It actually does, believe it or not. Government officials are required to record their meetings between each other.
Yes.
And they're FOIAble.
Yes, that is, but not every conversation. If two congressmen are in a corner talking about something, that doesn't get.
Yeah, what happens
FOIA'd.
when
You
they're
might
like
be
standing
compelled
at
to
the
talk about it?
Yeah, it's like they're walking around. It's like, oh, I haven't seen Senator.
That sounds like they're having conversations in an improper manner, in my opinion.
I think
Every meeting, 100%, I think should be recorded and put out there. But I think we're in a disagreement of is if those officials are having a private conversation, that would obviously not be recorded.
I don't think you should be allowed to have private conversations with government
I gotta
officials.
be honest with you, Angel. You're not exactly making it easy to try and work with you when every single time it's like the retort is just sarcasm. You know what I mean? It's like
because I don't think I genuinely don't think
sarcasm?
No, I don't. I actually agree with most of what I'm saying. There's an undertone of sarcasm to some of this, but the reason I'm being a little bit like that, Pred, is because I worry that you two don't genuinely think through the implications of what you are requesting and how it's actually going to affect people.
Well, I don't think
how it's actually going to look in practice.
I don't think that when people sign off on raids exactly, you know, and I don't have really an opportunity to contest a terribly written raid warrant, that I don't think people view how that affects me.
You can file.
So is it when I'm? So why would I care when other people are affected when nobody cares when I'm affected, Angel? It's very.
That's a really terrible thing to hear from someone whose job is to oversee the.
No, it's just because I'm completely okay with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen. That's why we have a democracy, because we're not always going to agree or see eye to eye. And that's okay.
I am not a criminal.
Any other topic?
I would like to point out, Pred, that we just had a court case dropped because a warrant was deemed bad. I don't think that it's fair for you to say that it's unappealable and uncontestable. It is. You just don't like the way that the process works.
No, I just feel like the process was just completely skipped.
How was it skipped? They sought out a search warrant. It was signed. Now the charges on the docket. You've not gone to jail. You're being charged. You have to fight those, and you maybe will win or you maybe lose. That's the
light
process,
up another cigarette.
Like that's quite fundamentally our process. If something is being accused of you and it's sent to the docket, you now have to fight it.
Yeah, but this particular situation doesn't sit too well with me, as reading the warrant is kind of really irksome as someone who understands the law at least enough to, you know, interpret what is probable cause for arrest and probable cause for a raid.
Fight it in court. If you think it's that bad, you should have it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've already done the damage. All right,
how have I done damage?
Come on, Angel, listen. You've already done the damage. All right, the damage has already been done to me. It's been done to my image.
I've done damage, and LSPD have run a court case, and other people are involved in this. The only acknowledgement I've had in this is I was there when the raid was conducted, and I've signed off on some Marshals actions. How is this my fault? Because the LSPD decided to look into you.
Did you put a statement at all in the documentation that's on Pred's docket?
No, I have not. I don't believe so, at least.
Yeah, not many people have put in statements on that document, actually. Kind of strange, a raid on a government official's carried out, and for some reason, the report wasn't the priority. I mean, a gang shooting,
Yeah.
everybody has 24 hours to get their statements in, but the raid of the mayor's community center, nobody
They
has to
probably
get
thought
all
it was
their...
in the bag, you know?
Yeah, nobody has to get all their statements in. I mean, that's in
Okay,
itself...
that sounds like a great angle to take in court. I don't know why you're trying it here with me.
They're just having a conversation.
Yeah, it's just talking.
Okay. It's really not, though. You can say it's just talking, but there's always undertones and implications of the things that you two say, and you know it.
No, I don't.
I think we all share that in common one way or another. That's what makes these
Yeah,
conversations so
but
good.
unlike us, you're the one that's actually the one doing the shit, Angel. I mean, you can't be
What
this
have
god...
I done, Fred? Name one thing.
Angel, I can name at least 38.
Do it.
All right,
well,
Angel.
I mean, let's start with the FOIA updates that clearly destroy all semblance of freedom to information and turn it into freedom.
Well, I mean, the justice system would disagree with you.
Because the justices
Well-
are in your pocket. You don't have anyone contesting anything. I don't understand how they could all sign off on this collectively. It
They're
doesn't
not
even
in my
make sense.
pockets.
I think Angel is right. This can be fought on the docket, as can some of the arguments that have been made. And I think unless we believe that this conversation is going to be turned from this into something fruitful, I think we're mostly done here, unless there's another topic we want to talk about.
Yeah, we need to
I got some
discuss
work
the
to do.
separation between the LSPD's.
Sorry, one second. Nino, can I call you after the meeting? Does that work for you? 30 minutes should be good. Right. Easy. All right, you take care.
We need to discuss how LSPD and the Ellis County Mayor's Office are not the same entity, and the same goes for Blaine County. And I think you two have both forgotten that.
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Yeah, I don't know what you
I
mean.
saw your text messages, and quite frankly, it seems like a bit of a not only an exaggeration, but primarily based on hearsay. So let's perhaps start with that.
It's
'cause I'm
not
gonna assume
hearsay.
the
Unfortunately,
intent,
I've received a lot of communication from officers who would be more
which
than
is
happy to
hearsay.
testify
Wait
in
1
court.
second.
Who would be
Right.
more than happy
Warlord
to testify
Kyle
in
Pratt
court
of the
to
mayor of the Blaine
direct
County. How may I help you?
conversations that have been taking place.
Stop it.
In
It's
addition
me.
to
Oh, I'll
direct
call you back. I'm in an
observation,
important meeting.
Sorry.
that the Ellis County Mayor's Office is
Could
interfering
you
with
start from the
LSPD's
beginning?
duties.
Fred was on the phone.
It was important. It was
I
my
missed half of what
treasurer.
you said.
I've had plenty
Oh,
of
she's around.
Okay. I've had plenty of conversations with plenty of officers in LSPD and BCSO who have witnessed and are can provide direct testimony
That I've
to
threatened
concerning
Daisy's
conversations
job.
that have some very concerning implications about how you don't seem to give a shit about how the Constitution says the LSPD is its own independent agency, and you're only
That's not what it
responsible for putting
says.
the chief in place. It is. It says the Los Angeles County, the Los Angeles Police Department is responsible for public services. You are responsible for the laws, and those two do not intersect.
All right. So this comes down to interpretation, and I will
Right,
go ahead.
that's correct. And who interprets
and
that again?
yeah, let's go ahead and read this. Los Santos County shall have legislative authority over its jurisdiction and be responsible for the governance, public services, and local laws that pertain to the residents and operations within Santos. The Los Santos County Mayor is responsible for the governance of Los Santos's laws, and the Los Santos Police Department is responsible for the county's public services.
That's correct.
The
You're not
sheriff
responsible for the LSPD.
Police shall be appointed by the Los Santos County Mayor. And I believe ipso facto, governance, public services, who is the mayor of Los Santos County, everything's rather
Yeah, what defines a
explanatory,
public
but-
service as well?
Right. So again, the LSPD is responsible for the public services, and you're responsible for the laws. You are not responsible for them.
That's your interpretation,
Yeah, it's
That's correct. It is my interpretation.
and I appreciate it.
yeah. I feel as though
Any other matters we want to discuss?
I feel like ultimately this conversation is meaningless. You know, you two are dead set in your ways. You're gonna do what you do. I dread the day that we're gonna have this conversation where we come up with whatever farcical, terrible system you two want to put in place, and I am really, really terrified for the future of the state.
hey, our systems couldn't be any worse than hers, if I'm being honest.
Our systems are democratic.